This video is for those who want truth and honesty regarding the internet rumors that have been targeting us. Our former friend Bonitis claims that he was unjustly thrown out of our company, Vivid Publishing, and he has labeled current staffers as Nazis. We do not like to denigrate coworkers and former coworkers in public. Regardless of how Bonitis chose to depart, we wanted things to work out as well as possible for him. That's how a business should be run. We didn't want his decision to leave to have any negative ramifications on his prospects or his comic career.
I like your publisher guy too. They seem really nice.
They usually are. They've been real weird about this. They're keeping quiet about it, which that's on them. But
the reason we are sharing details now is that while we have been moving forward with the greatest possible respect towards him, we have been continuously dragged back to Bonitis' irrelevant internet drama. And as for months now, he has been targeting not only us, but friends, sponsors, coworkers, and readers.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
It doesn't sound like
I wasn't.
Yeah.
Well, okay, it was pretty bad, but I rallied the cavalry, so to speak, and things are turning around. So,
what do you mean? Are you canceled or what? Did you get canceled? Bone is a furry artist.
Oh yeah, I've been on the show a few times at this point. I'm the TDS furry artist, yes. I guess. No, I didn't get canceled. Not exactly. I sent the details to Dick, and we went over some stuff in private.
As it currently stands, Bonitis is attempting to dismantle our company using Nazi images that he collected himself. Pictures no one here has ever even seen before.
And I just started typing, and I didn't stop typing till 4 fucking a.m.
Jesus Christ, dude.
This is the length I will go to prevent online call-out shit.
He has urged Twitter followers to contact him, but only if they are willing to do something, called us far-right political nightmare people, thanking and signal-boosting accounts that blame us for the swastikas he is spreading. His fellow accusers beg people to circulate these lies to friends as widely as possible, to unsubscribe from our Patreon, refund purchases, contact the company's authors, vendors, you name it. They blatantly say that our careers and our business should be destroyed.
And then I'm like, all right, if nobody is going to do anything, Bone's got to step up. So I did.
If it was just me alone, I would frankly continue ignoring all of this because I do not think that it really matters. Especially after being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis the previous year, I realized that a life of artistic creation, for me, vastly outweighs time wasted on internet flame wars. However, Vivid has grown significantly beyond me, and at this point we have enthusiastic and promising talented people that are kind of relying on us to take care of them, so for their sake, I am going to address the claims that Bonitis has been disseminating.
Please tell your buddies, other folks within the CouchCon community, let them know, let them be aware.
Yeah, and if you're a CouchCon person, attendee, whatever, you can get a hold of me, and I will be honest and open with you.
This all started with Bone trying to cancel a Vivid contractor named Hazencrews. Bone gathered and is using a set of reprehensible images, including swastikas, in an attempt to smear his target. Since Hazencrews never posted those images, Bone carefully cropped out the user avatars to ensure nobody would catch on to what he was doing. If Hazen had actually posted those things, Bone would have left the avatar in. Instead, Bonitis considerately conceals the identity of whoever was actually posting this stuff. With his collection carefully doctored, Bone then took private messages of Hazencrews and sprinkled them in amongst those other screenshots. To be perfectly clear, Hazencrews never posted any of Bone's swastikas. We have never posted any of Bone's swastikas. Nobody at Vivid had ever even seen that content before until Bone collected it, altered it, and started spreading it around. None of us are even members of the Telegram rooms where Bonitis went to gather these things.
If you've got somebody who you think would be a sympathetic ear, any movers, shakers, influencers, any shit like that, that should hear this story, con staff, that kind of thing, hit me up, because I'll talk. I'm ready to fucking talk.
Although that is his biggest accusation, it is far from being Bone's only assertion. He has been streaming multiple times a week for hours on end about this subject and going on a whirlwind podcast tour where he spreads even more falsehoods. Here is a small sampling.
I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't like that. Which, I don't, but it sounds kind of gay when you say it out loud. Let's be real.
Bonitis speculates that Liz and I have been committing infidelity with coworkers. He claims that Hazen Cruz has a criminal record despite not knowing Hazen Cruz's legal name. He claims that we have various sexual fetishes, which he then proceeds to mock on stream. He brags about leaving Vivid and, alternately, claims that he was unjustly kicked out. He incites his followers to contact vendors and authors with this litany of untruths.
You usually have to word things very carefully and trick people into helping you, but I am a horribly honest person.
And weeks after quitting his staff position with CouchCon, he has used his administrative credentials to log into the CouchCon website backend and attempt to gather personal information on vendors and panelists. His access has, of course, since that point in time been revoked. Anyone hearing hours of these shocking fabrications from him should not expect anything different going forward. Unpacking a falsehood does take a lot more time and care than just saying the falsehood itself, so there's no way we could possibly cover everything he's been spewing out over these hours upon hours upon hours. What we are going to do is look at just 5 examples in detail. That should be sufficient to demonstrate the mismatch between what is being said about us and what is real.
And I had to get something going for me. Money, metrics were all down. I was just like, oh shit, this cannot keep going this way. So I said something publicly.
Do you sell a lot of like furry art books through them?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Through them, this was going to be my first book through them.
Oh, I see.
But I'd worked with them on a lot of other projects over the past 5 years.
Oh.
So,
what was one of your other ones? Let me look it up.
One of my other projects?
Yeah, one of your previous projects.
With them?
Anyone.
Let's see. There was
1. The accusation that Vivid Publishing community rooms are regularly filled with and tolerate extremist political propaganda. This is absurdly, obviously false, without even the pretense of a scrap of evidence. Stuff like that goes against our community standards. Vivid's moderators are excellent and would remove any such content promptly. Bone's collection of swastikas was thrown into the Dreamkeepers fandom several times and thrown right back out.
They were making all the money, getting all the followers, while the rest of us got scraps.
2. The claim that Hazen Cruz is an obvious or blatant Nazi. This claim is false according to Bonitis himself. When he first tried to accuse Hazen Cruz over a GameStop stock cartoon, I suggested that having a direct conversation would help identify any legitimate issues. Hazen, Bone, and I had a voice call together. During that voice call, Hazen asked for examples or screenshots of what Bone was talking about, and Bone could provide none. The call ended finally with Bone agreeing that his conclusion had been unsubstantiated, and we all agreed that we would move forward and allow judgments to be made based on continuing behavior. The next day is when Bone began collecting and editing his swastika collection.
Because I was getting no momentum. I was getting no sales. Stream attendance was down. I couldn't get new followers. I was losing followers. And I was like, gee, and I was pissed because I was like, well, I thought furries wanted to fight Nazis, but apparently that's just something they say. I was pissed.
The claim that Bone was canceled from Vivid Publishing. This is categorically false and an accusation that describes precisely what Bone was trying to do to someone else. Even after Bone's conduct, I reassured him multiple times, over the phone, in person, in email, there were witnesses, that we were still happy to publish his book, regardless of any difference of opinion. He responded with a manipulative ultimatum, pulled his book from the company, deleted the Indiegogo we had set up for him, and ejected us from his Telegram rooms.
I left the company at the beginning of February, and we're going to get into the reasons why.
And when I finally was like, hey, you can't be doing this, I got dropped like immediately.
4. The claim that Hazen Cruz's leaked texts show he is alt-right. Bonitis himself was an enthusiastic participant in some of these conversations, but he carefully edited himself out before leaking the messages.
And I needed something I had to give, or this career was dead in the water.
One in particular, Bone and Hazen were mocking alt-right people and writing sarcastic posts of what an alt-right person might say. Bone clipped his own contributions out of the conversation and omitted the satirical context before adding the final version to the Bonitis swastika collection. From what I can tell, every one of Hazen's leaked messages was similarly decontextualized.
You know, like I said, I got pretty fiery, but I had to create some momentum.
And 5, the claim that Vivid stole Bonitis' website. After encouraging Bone to get a website for years, I finally decided to assemble one for him for free. I purchased the domain name, the SSL certificate, set aside a day to code the page myself, and assembled the visual layout and navigation. We couldn't get Bone's personal server login to work, so I just let him have the password to my personal web hosting account in its entirety. That way he could post page updates whenever he wanted. As the current situation unfolded, I realized that he also had total access to every page of the Dreamkeepers and Vivid websites, and perhaps that was unwise. So I changed the password to my personal hosting account and informed Bone that I would be happy to continue hosting and updating his site if he would be willing to send me page files when needed. I also offered to transfer the domain name for his personal ownership if that was preferable. Bone turned down both offers, instead demanding my personal password, and he is now telling people that I stole his website from him.
And I said, hey, so my entire career is crumbling before my eyes due to alt-right plausible deniability bullshit. See why I wrote that now? That's where the plausible deniability is.
The nonstop flood of lies and misrepresentations has been stressful, as well as having nearly every mutual friend turn away from us with no explanation. At first, I didn't understand why everybody was suddenly treating us differently.
I've contacted a couple people that have been with Vivid because, and you could say like, oh, kid's going behind the scenes trying to get people against us. I'm just trying to do a professional courtesy.
The situation caused additional challenges relating to our health, but we are recovering well currently. And ultimately, some good did come of this.
You can get so much
he doesn't care about
attention.
you.
Yeah, you can get so much attention just by throwing Nazi accusations around. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Messages started pouring in. Some from some pretty large accounts compared to anybody working for Vivid. So I was impressed by that. Some people sent money. Some people sent a lot of money.
I hope that this clarification can illuminate the truth for any bystanders or vendors who were uncertain. I have addressed the situation with total transparency here, and I will not be addressing it again. To conclude, instead of reiterating what we are not, I would like to state who we are and what we're doing. Me and Liz are doing our best to create comics and games. We don't really give a rip about politics. We want Vivid to help more authors accomplish the same things, and ultimately to build a corner of the entertainment marketplace where merit matters, people can enjoy what they love, and everyone can connect and share that enjoyment. It's sometimes harder to do than an outsider might think, but it's work that we love, and we are never going to give up. We're going to create more amazing things.